Hey everybody, welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Paul.
And it's time for a Streaming Wars update because HBO tipped their hand.
We do videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday is our rapid review or our short trivia videos. And also on Thursday, we do our longer pieces talking about the media industry. So we have a lot of videos, so you should go to our library section. You should also like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to get more of our good videos.
And you can head on over to my Patreon that's called Patrick Needs a Haircut if you like, and try and fund that because I just caught myself in the monitor. Paul would be too polite to say it. If you want
to see a weird segue.
It was.
I also had hair, so
I think your hair is lovely.
No, message is this. It looks like a dead sheep.
This is what you came here, folks. Dead sheep hair and whatever that is.
Hitler.
Settle. Okay. Now I need that haircut.
Not those videos.
We're talking a Thursday video, so that means entertainment industry. Streaming Wars. Check out our link above for our last Streaming Wars update. We listed out last time the big players.
Yes.
Everybody knew Netflix. Disney Plus was the big talk of the town on the horizon.
Yeah.
Hulu and CBS All Access and all that were the lower players.
Peacock
and Peacock, which we took the mick out of the NBC naming their service Peacock. Although I have had a change of heart on it a little bit. I mentioned this to Paul. They're the only one on the list that's one word. Except for Hulu and Netflix, and I'm not counting Hulu anymore because Disney Plus is going to subsume them. So I respect the one word. I just wish the one word they'd chosen was something other than Peacock.
And I don't respect it, but have also realised the fact that I haven't been able to get it out of my head for a while. So yeah,
so it's kind of working.
Yeah, it's kind of working. It's kind of annoying me into knowing that it exists.
I did that to people through my entire childhood. That's all the people that I were like, I'm their friends. They're like, no, he's not. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a creepy episode tonight, folks.
Child murderer.
HBO Max was the one that we pulled out of the bag as, they're the dark horse. So everybody's like, Disney Plus is going to unseat Netflix at the head of the pack. And you and I were like, no, it's the guy in the corner. HBO Max is the one to watch. They could be the dark horse.
Yeah, we were saying the fact that, Netflix and Disney, because they're probably going to go head to head, that they might do themselves a lot of damage in the fact that, HBO Max are kind of they're putting their money where their mouth is. They hired J.J. Abrams, and Bad Robot. They got Friends. They got the Big Bang Theory, kind of thing. So they really pulled out some big guns just to settle at the table.
Yeah, and I guess we can't bury the lead too much because Disney Plus is about a week away. It's probably going to be happening around the time this video comes out because we've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline, so this edit mightn't show up for a week or two. Disney Plus have one big thing happening. Their big launch event is The Mandalorian. So it's a Star Wars TV show, essentially. For all of you that aren't into Star Wars or haven't noticed The Mandalorian, the world is waiting for it. There's a lot of appetite and a lot of buzz for this show. Jon Favreau's the creative mind behind it. All-star cast of all sorts of people you wouldn't expect, including Bill Burr, for anybody who knows who he is. Trailer link down below for Mandalorian. But one thing we have to admit to is we are not getting Disney Plus. Why aren't we getting Disney Plus, Paul?
Because we live in Ireland, which is in the European Union.
And we can't. Because Disney, in their infinite wisdom, and probably for all sorts of legal and complicated reasons, so I should cut them a break, aren't launching at the same time here. So the US and some other countries are going to have Disney Plus in a week or two. And we're not. And we're not the only ones. A lot of the world isn't going to have Disney Plus. Yet all of the world's going to want to see Mandalorian. I wonder how that'll be resolved.
Well, there might be some piracy.
That's how much I could get into that.
We don't mean the fun kind of piracy. We mean the kind of piracy where you steal media stuff from the internet and you watch it, which I can't really fault people for right now with The Mandalorian.
With The Mandalorian, you know what? I can't either. And the weird thing about that is usually you'd be like, but surely they're gonna, there's other stuff. CBS All Access in America had Star Trek Discovery, and we got it over here as part of Netflix. Yeah. Because deals like that can be done. Disney's in a weird position with Netflix that they're not friends. It was a rough breakup, I think is maybe the polite way to put it. So we're not going to be seeing their stuff added to Netflix for Europe in whatever the interim between now and when we finally get Disney Plus is. So our only choice is going to be piracy for Mandalorian. I myself am not going to do it for legal reasons. And I would say Paul is legally recording himself saying the same thing into a camera.
Sure.
There you go, we're covered. But others probably will.
Yeah, like just an interesting statistic about piracies. They actually spend more money on media than anyone else, because they watch the film and then they go, I might as well get the special edition with all the goodies and stuff like that. So pirates spend a little bit more money on media than other people.
Oh, there you go. And for a moment there, I thought I was going to get a random actual pirate fact. I thought you were going to be like, yes, Blackbeard. Remember we did a thing about him once.
National Pirate Speaking Day is on the 19th of September. There you go.
I love that you know that. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I do the show with him. Because that's the sort of knowledge nobody else would bring to this table. For good reason.
Yeah, it's kind of useless. Except for the piracy one about them spending more money.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I get the point. They're going to, like, you know, if the distribution deals with Disney and stuff like that are difficult because of their essentially breakup with Netflix and with the Defenders kind of thing being, you know, very destructive to both people. It feels like, either new deals are going to have to be made, or a lot more Disney Plus enemies are going to be made quickly, in the fact that they start pulling stuff off, like, you know.
They will probably have a new record, though, and this will be the most pirated show of all time.
True.
So Disney will accidentally create a new record for themselves. They will be the biggest studio in the world with the most successful films and the most pirated TV show. So good on them.
Yeah, no.
And I think that leads us on to one other interesting thing. Oh, sorry, I'm just checking the run order there.
Yeah, so like the interesting kind of thing with this is that, you know, we've talked about a couple of players in this and how they're bringing their toys, because we say the streaming wars and the fact that their countries bringing weapons to bear. One country particularly has decided to bow out of the entire battle, thinking that it will not have a future in it, which I definitely get.
Yeah,
and that country or company is?
That is Sony. Sony have decided PlayStation View is going to be no more. So those of you, there are very few people that actually went for it in the end. But PlayStation View didn't even make our list. We mentioned it in passing in our last video, kind of going, we're not even going to include those services because they're such small players. They're not likely to become big overnight. Well, Sony have realized that they're not going to become big in a landscape with so much competition. So quite wisely, I think Sony are showing a lot of real business smarts lately, what with the whole Spider-Man Marvel debacle that ended up working out quite well in some ways for them. I think Sony are playing a clever long game at maybe being a studio that's going to be doing their own things. Maybe not chasing the streaming service is probably a smart business decision, because everybody else is going to lose a lot of money that doesn't win.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of like the amount of money that you'd have to put in to be a big player for this kind of stuff. You know, maybe it's not worth for them right now in the fact to do it, as they are. You know, they are not just a film studio; they're also a hardware company as well, with, like, you know, TVs and everything, and PlayStation. But because like, could you imagine the amount of money that you'd have to put in just to? And then on top of that, the amount of media that's also going to people and stuff like that, there's going to be less and less stuff that you're going to be able to buy the distribution rights for. Yeah, and
there's going to be a higher price for anything you can buy because there's too many bidders at the auction now.
Yeah, like, so essentially PlayStation or Sony View would probably get the scraps, and like that would probably kill them. Like, you've already seen Amazon Prime start off like that, and the fact that they had barely anything on them. And now they've essentially scrambled and started building their own thing. And I don't think Sony really wants... Like, Sony's a film studio, not a... Like...
And even
they can distribute to anyone.
Their PlayStation branch is, you know, they're already working really well in the biggest industry in the world, which is gaming. So, you know, it makes more sense for them to keep their powder dry, or whatever the right phrase would be, and get into more of a streaming war for things like Twitch or... whatever the other ones are called. I can't remember what the one that everybody else is moving to. What's that? It'll come to me. But on screen now, that one.
But also, they're also getting ready for PlayStation 5.
Exactly. They've got enough billions and billions of dollars to make that they don't need the distraction, because PlayStation 5 is going to absolutely mint them yet again. So why not? On that point, though, business is business, and this business seems to have a lot of crossover with cellular networks. That's something else we noticed when looking at all this. You have, let's see, so AT&T own HBO.
Yeah.
HBO Warner Media, so HBO and all that. That's AT&T with your plan. If you already have whatever, you're going to get HBO Max for free, all that good stuff. Disney Plus is going to be out for a year with Verizon for free.
Yeah.
So you sign up with Verizon in the States, you're going to get your Disney Plus for a year. And Apple TV. Wonder how you're going to get Apple TV Plus or Apple Plus TV, whatever they're calling it. If you buy a new iPhone, you get a year of Apple TV.
Yeah. And if anyone can tell us a reason for us to choose Apple TV, put it in the comments down below, because so far our research has not pulled up too much of media stuff that I would be dying for. Yeah, genuinely, we're looking for players in this game, and every time we try and write up a reason for Apple to be, considered the fourth fighter in the ring, we can't find enough. Like, they have a few shows that look like the morning show and stuff could be good, but they're not playing at the same level as even, like, Amazon Prime and them. Amazon Prime is already making Apple TV Plus look small fry. Yeah. So like, they're not even getting into that Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO level. They're still playing at tier 2. I wouldn't even consider them playing at tier 2 because Amazon Prime seems to be at that level with CBS and Peacock and stuff like that. Yeah, Peacock is more of a likely chance of making it into. That's true, actually. So yeah, what if anybody? Please comment down below if there's a killer. If they're the inventors of the killer app, if they have a killer TV show or a killer movie that we're all going to be like, we have to have Apple TV. I don't see it yet myself. On to that, to kind of head us into the end of this video, I think it's time to talk about that Leviathan that's crawled over the hill. HBO Max had their shareholders call at the end of October, where they released a lot of information. One of the big surprises for a lot of people was they cancelled the Game of Thrones prequel that was going to have Naomi Watts, and simultaneously greenlit the new prequel, which is called something House of Dragons. House of Dragons. So that's House of the Dragon. 300 years before the Game of Thrones thing. So it's going to do with, if you haven't watched the series, I'm not spoiling anything. If you read the books, then you know exactly what it's on. They're going to be talking about Valeria. They're going to be talking about, they're going to go back to Dragon times with the original, whatever they are. The Valerians. There you go. So the Game of Thrones HBO thing, that connection's still there. There's so much there that they're able to cancel and launch a show in one call, which is interesting. But from a DC side of things, and this is where I'm going to throw to you, Paul, it's quite interesting because don't forget, Warner, DC, HBO, all the same company. So, interesting enough with the DC stuff, one of the biggest things that are coming out is that the person who, I can't remember the name off my top of my head. The Arrowverse guy. Yeah, so the guy who came up with Arrowverse, which is essentially Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, kind of, and the DC Legends of Tomorrow kind of group. They're going to do a new Green Lantern series called Strange Adventures. Yeah. So like, which will be interesting because we haven't seen a take of the Green Lantern that's very good, except for in the animation movies. Well, we did see the other take though. What about the other take? What about that movie though? Well, like, Ryan Reynolds movie. Yeah. See, I have no qualms talking about it because it's a piece of if you really want to, like, I'll go rounds on this because there's one person who I know I has in my corner, and it's Ryan Reynolds himself, and he played the goddamn character. True. So, wow, I know, right? Cute thing about this is you can actually tell whether or not we go into this now by looking at the length of the video. If the little thing at the bottom says 2 hours and 44 minutes, then we've talked further about Green Lantern. Because it doesn't, you can tell that we're pinning it there. Yeah. So mark here if it's now. Yeah. The other interesting things about the DC stuff is that they're doing about 40 years worth of material. So all the old Supermans, the old Batmans, probably some of the old TV series of not just the old Batman, but probably the old Superman, the Lois and Clark one. Yeah, anything that they had their hands on. Then there's probably like a massive amount of the animation ones, which is like Justice League Unlimited, the Batman like animated series. There's probably tons, like all that kind of thing, which I cannot stress enough. Yeah. If you like DC in any fashion, if any of the live action movies have like tickled your fancy into spending more into the DC universe, go watch the animation stuff because it is far superior to it. But that's as far as I probably should. Can I lean in behind you on that a little bit there, because I get to play the outsider on the comic knowledge stuff. If you enjoyed the MCU,
the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's taken away your prejudice if you're like, I don't like superheroes or comic book stuff. Go and watch the DC animated stuff, because, and I'm coming from your side of things where, you know, I dip my toe in. It's worth it. It is well worth it. Do not judge DC by Justice League or Batman versus Superman or Man of Steel or any of that. Go and watch any of, particularly the old Batman animated stuff, and those features. They're fantastic.
Yeah, they are really, really good. But onto some of the other crazy stuff that HBO Max have kind of decided to go on. They've got the entire back catalogue of the Studio Ghibli films. Yeah,
which is kind of awesome. And that's something that I'm actually... It's one of those tipping points for me. It's like, yeah, now I can definitely see why it'd be worth going for HBO Max.
Yeah.
Because that's a body of stuff that I want to see. Mm-hmm. And it's all collected in one place.
Yeah, it's convenience.
Yeah, and it's going to pay for itself straight away. You know, for that month or two that you're digging your way through all those movies, it's like, yeah, this subscription's paid for itself.
Yeah, and they also, with the Studio Ghibli, they're also getting the new film Rise of the Wind, Rise of the Wind, which is the new Studio Ghibli film.
And anybody who doesn't know Studio Ghibli, in one line or less, Paul, if you can give people because I don't want to just say, you know, give it the dumbass animated answer. But.
I guess the only way to describe it is probably, you know, it's the anime version of essentially the Disney stuff. Would be that's a real shitty way of explaining it. The movies are great. Like, they're very, very whimsical, very fantasy-esque kind of thing, folklore-y kind of stuff. They're really good.
There are a lot of artists, and when I say artists, I mean not just visual artists, but a lot of actors and writers and directors. A lot of those people, when they're interviewed, they're like, "What's some of your favorite stuff?" And it will be Studio Ghibli productions. They will straight up be like, "Oh no, it's this." So a lot of respect for that stuff, and I'm kind of looking forward to dipping in further to all that. Thanks to HBO Max, because guess what? I guess I'm getting HBO Max if it comes to Ireland.
Yeah, like the only other ones we have is that they'll have, like, you know, as we said, Friends, Big Bang Theory, which goes. They're going to do.
Elmo.
I think. Yeah, they have all the Sesame Street back catalogue for like 20 years. Then they also have an Elmo like late night talk show parody film.
Talk show.
Oh my god, it is creepy as shit.
I'm going to try doing a Elmo to Paul for the next half hour once we turn off the camera. Elmo talk show. You're going to have, like, they're going for quality over quantity for their own new productions. That's what their line is. They're not going to be producing at the same rate or volume as Netflix or Disney, for that matter. But they don't have to, because you have all of the Warner back catalogue, you have all of the DC back catalogue, and then you have the big spend, you know, the big buys that they've made, like Big Bang Theory and Friends.
And you've got HBO stuff like Generation Kill, West Wing, The Wire, like, you know, Sopranos, them?
Can't remember. Was that AMC or was that them?
It's either AMC or them. But yeah, like, they've got a massive catalogue of HBO like material stuff, and Game of Thrones as well.
They are not short, and I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna head us towards the end with this thought, and I'm gonna throw it at Paul and see what you think. If I was to say to you now, we did this at the end of, we'll do this at the end of all our streaming war updates. Who's gonna topple Netflix? Previously, we were like, nobody but Disney might come close. I'm gonna say HBO have edged ahead for one reason. If you are sitting there thinking, Disney, I look forward to watching all the Disney classics, and then I say to you, yeah, but HBO has both adult and family-friendly stuff. Disney is just family-friendly. As far as we know for now, they're going to restrict themselves a little. HBO won't. You're going, as you say, everything from Generation Kill to the Studio Ghibli stuff. I don't know, for my money, taking it out of my pocket and putting it on a table, HBO Max is edging it for me.
See, this is the weird... I definitely get that. This is the weird thing for me. The streaming wars is the weirdest combat of products, because I can't get any of the HBO stuff on any of the other platforms except for HBO Max.
Right.
I can't get any of the Marvel Disney back catalogue except for anything on Disney Plus.
Gotcha, yeah.
This is the weird thing about it, is I'm going to end up... like... Right now, Netflix, Amazon Prime, because Amazon Prime's also linked in with the delivery service, and Crunchyroll, which has no thing in the race of the streaming wars because it's an anime one, are the three streaming services that I adhere to. there's a possibility that Disney Plus is, once it gets its act together and gets into Europe, will happen. And is HBO Max going to come to Europe?
Yeah.
So like
realistically, they're going to go worldwide with HBO Max.
So it's possible that I'll end up being linked to 5 Netflix or like streaming services, which will mean that I'll probably cancel my TV channels.
That's what I was about to say. If I get to the point of having 5 of those, I'll have to cancel my TV package.
Yeah.
But I'm practically getting my TV free with my internet at this stage. So I'm going to really have to look at the numbers. And somebody will probably have to lose out, which again could lead to me being at other houses to watch pirated stuff, because I would never do it myself. You might get more picky about what you really care from. Like, they're going to need to produce and keep producing high quality. If the Disney Marvel shows turn out to be rubbish, then I would be like, yeah, I don't think I'll spend the money. When somebody, you know, if they're all Iron Fists and they're not all, there's no Daredevils and they're all Iron Fists, I'll be like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to spend my money.
But the thing is that you're going to spend your money a little bit on it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to tip your toe into it, so you're going to give the money anyway for probably 2 months, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, which isn't going to be too bad, because that'll probably be like, what, $13.99?
Yeah, but gosh, when those 5 bills come in for all the streaming services,
that's the thing,
somebody's going to lose.
Like, I don't mind saying I spend 90 euro on my like internet / TV package,
which is, for Ireland, you know, anywhere between 50 and 100 is, you know, that's the range depending on what you need internet wise. And
like, I spend probably about 30 quid going up there, because I know Netflix is increasing their prices, or have, which is, so I'm spending probably about 120, 130 euro on media stuff. I can definitely understand that I probably will end up spending 150.
Yeah. Yeah.
150 just on media stuff and my internet.
That's realistic. But again, that's year 1. Year 2, if you haven't impressed me, like, there will be there'll be a cull. They're going to have to keep it up, because if you let me down, I'll stop paying.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
But no, I'm kind of with you, yeah. So that's the realistic future, folks. Obviously, because of what we do here, like, we have a whole YouTube channel about this stuff, so hence we are going to end up paying a lot of money. I know I'm talking a big game about being cheap here, but because we need access to the media and we end up talking about it, we're going to be watching it. I might be watching it at his house since he's already going to have it. But realistically, it'll be interesting when it all starts, but I think this will be just as interesting 12 months from now, 24 months from now, 36 months from now.
Because I don't want to go run too longer.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, because we're having, with the big 3, essentially Disney, HBO and Netflix, it means that one of them is going to be squeezed out. And this is possible that Disney versus Netflix is going to cause HBO to be the bigger player. I think essentially they've, like, Netflix and Disney go head to head. But as I said, none of these are going to lose out entirely. They won't just disappear unless they're bought over. But
they'll become more minor players, but I can't see Disney ever stopping. That's the thing. I think Disney are big enough that they'll do an Xbox on it. They'd be like, we can run at a loss for 10 years. Watch us. We're not scared. I think Netflix is the only one that has to worry, and worry hard. Because HBO, they've got their infrastructure, they've got their back end, they've got their existing business. They're getting into streaming. Disney are gigantic and they're going to do their thing. Netflix has everything to lose. They have their entire business to lose. So yeah, Netflix shares, if they go down because of what we just said in this video, that would be amazing. But we'd still much prefer likes and subscribes and comments. So yeah, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you'd like to see some more. And even if you don't subscribe, just call back again and see us.
And just one more comment down below if you are thinking of, because last time we asked, which streaming services would you probably subscribe to? If the HBO news has changed your mind from what you did last time, give us what you were choosing and then choosing from now. Yeah. And on that note, I've been Patrick. And I've been Paul. And we will see you next time. Bye. Bye. Elmo says bye. That was weird, actually. Creepy as shit.